Why, hello, welcome to another episode of Design Lab, in which I, Adam, look at comics and art and stuff. Today we're looking at Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theatre, which I don't know if I would have ever known about this, except I saw it somehow, and I recognize the name of the author, artist Tom Scioli. I assume I'm pronouncing his name right, Scioli. Maybe it's Scioli. I'm not sure, but I'm going to pronounce it Scioli. Anyways, I reviewed actually his other two of his books, his Jack Kirby and Stan Lee bios in comics form earlier in the year, and I enjoyed them. So I saw this and I'm like, that looks weird, because it's not just Godzilla. It has the Great Gatsby, the guy from the Time Machine, Sherlock Holmes, another character in the bottom left who I guessed right away who it was, but I won't spoil that because they leave it a mystery. Cover, of course, is this is an homage to Fantastic Four #1 by Jack Kirby, his art. But so let's take a dive into this thing and see what it is. I think it's going to be about 3 issues, and I assume it's 3 issues because I saw the trade paperback solicited and it was about 126. I don't know. Anyways, there's only 1 issue so far. This is the first issue. We'll see. Great colors. I noticed the colors right away. I'm like, oh, this is really beautifully colored. And I like the art. I like his art in general. So it kind of begins from kind of just like straight backstory from the Great Gatsby, which Great Gatsby is one of my favorite novels. I'd say it's one of the best novels ever written. And I was wondering, like, how do they do this? Like, how do you have this collaboration? But I thought about it and like, well, actually, I think Godzilla is the only one that's still like trademarked and not in the public domain. So I looked at the copyright and it says, copyright Toho Co. Limited. So I assume that's all they needed the rights to was the Godzilla. Everything else, even Great Gatsby, has come in the public domain in the last few years, I think. So anyways, so we get this backstory with Great Gatsby that if you read the novel, you're probably familiar with. But nice art. It kind of reminds me of Dr. Seuss. That's what I think about more than anything from this art. But very nice looking art, but lovely coloring. I thought the way that he drew Daisy was really well. There's one page I'll show you. Oh, but then all of a sudden Godzilla comes in, and it's not really explained like why or how or what's going on, but it's just basically to let it happen and have them interact. Oh, this is the page I liked. Yeah, I thought this image of Daisy, the colors too, remind me of some Jack Kirby like New Gods character. I'm not sure who. Is there a character that has green and yellow like that? I'm not sure. Anyways, so basically it turns into kind of like an adventure story. They're battling Godzilla, and all these other characters, real and historical or fictitious, Thomas Edison, are introduced, and it kind of has a team gathering feel similar to like you see in like westerns and superhero comics. But some of the scenes and some of the dialogues are straight out of Great Gatsby. I can remember that for sure, some of them. And so there's a lot of some of these pages. I like the design here. This is very beautiful. And there's some alternate covers. I'll show you one in the back that's a direct homage to the original cover for the Great Gatsby, which is kind of a famous cover. But I was thinking also as I read this about the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which Alan Moore and Kevin O'Neill's 20+ year epic about basically including as many fictitious characters as possible in the past. A lot of public domain characters. Alan Moore managed to include a lot of non-public domain characters too, like Sal Paradise from On the Road, and I think like the Harry Potter characters are referred to very obliquely. He just does it in a very vague way, or he had to change the spelling on a few names, things like that. So this reminded me a little of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but not quite to that extreme level. And then I was surprised to learn at the end that actually it's the same publisher that Alan Moore finished the League with. So I love this page right here. The design here looks very beautiful to me. It just looks very I don't know. Godzilla is an interesting character in that there's not much character to him. He's not even like the Incredible Hulk, where you have a personality in this human form. It's just like pure animal rage. So it's like astonishing that he's able to sustain popularity for so many years in such a. But I guess the form is this thing that is. I saw that last Godzilla movie. It was okay. I mean, it was, it's about like as good as a Godzilla movie can be. I'm not a huge Godzilla fan. I love this panel with Sherlock Holmes. It looks almost like a fisheye. Sherlock Holmes is pretty old at this point. I thought they were going to include Captain Nemo, who is also in the league as well, and Sherlock Holmes, but it is actually Jules Verne. This kind of robot man. This looks like a very Kirby-esque character, and yeah, so. I would say this isn't. I mean, I didn't feel like there was the level of story and character that we get in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but I did like the art, and I did like. I mean, this is a beautiful. This could be a poster. This is a very beautiful page, but I did like. I enjoyed it. It was very very lightweight, and I'm curious to see where it goes. So I wouldn't say it's like life changing, but I would say like it's a very beautiful comic. Very pretty, and worth a look if you like any of the characters or things that I mentioned. Here's the next issue, I guess, coming out in December. So here's the cover I was talking about. That I don't know who did that original cover, but it's kind of a pretty famous image. And then there's some other alternative covers. So yeah, not a bad comic. And yeah, then there's a page ad in the back for Moon and Serpent. Bumper Book of Magic by Alan Moore, Steve Moore. I will review that soon. I'm reading through it, and it's pretty thick. So, yeah. So this is a pretty short design lab today, because I guess I don't have too much to add. I mean, this art's very good. He's a great artist, and clearly has a wonderful sense of design. I'm just like saying that, story wise, it's okay. It does the job, and it is what it is. It's supposed to be, and it's silly in the right places, I think, and I liked it. I wasn't clear who this Jake Gatsby and the G-Force is that referring to something? I'm not sure, maybe, but yeah. So check it out, Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater, available in a theater near you, a comic store near you, or somewhere. All right.